Welcome back to Angel Colors Quarantine Edition number 1, because who knows how long this is gonna go for. So my life has constantly been coffee, 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 coffee. Wake up, coffee. Have another coffee. Eat maybe one thing and then coffee, and then pace around my apartment for a very long time. So how is everybody else's social distancing slash quarantine slash isolation going? I sound a little sneezy, but I am playing that game. Is it allergies or is it corona? You don't know. So it's a good thing that I have not mingled with anyone in recent history, or maybe we'll never mingle again. I don't know. It's a really weird time that we're living through. Did you know that 2 weeks ago it was my birthday, and I didn't understand at the time what a luxury it was for me to leave my house at 1 a.m., walk to Denny's, and eat a Grand Slam. Like, that's just insane now. That doesn't happen. You can't go outside and go into a restaurant because you just can't do that. So, unfortunately, Denny's Grand Slam was one of the last things that I ate before everything, went to shit. If I had known, I would have gone for some Korean barbecue, because that is what I really want right now. And it's also sad that I finally came to realize that my number one hobby is eating out with friends and having that completely inaccessible. It's bringing a lot of introspection on my part. I'm like, I should really spend my time doing some other shit. Not that spending time with friends is like a waste of time. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I should have invested in other hobbies. But I suppose coloring is a hobby, so here we are. I recorded this video, I think sometime in February, because you see that little blood spot on my hand? That was when I got clipped by a street sign. I remember that happening. It really hurt. And I haven't had that in a while. It healed. So this was a while ago, and I was having a lot of technical issues with my computer. It's quite old, so it was running on Windows 7. By the way, it was the best Windows ever, and I just refused to upgrade to Windows 8 or 10. So when my hard drive decided that it no longer wanted to live or be part of existence, I lost Windows and I lost Adobe Suite, and this is the version that's before cloud. So everything was just on my hard drive, and I didn't have a backup of it. I had it on disc. I'm like, is it a DVD or is it a CD? I don't know. I had it on disc eons ago, and whenever I move, I like to throw things away, and I think that was one of the things that I forgot to keep. So yeah, I found myself without the means to produce things. Without Photoshop, I was really lost. Because Photoshop and Lightroom, because, I'm a photographer. That's what you need for living. But I guess nobody has a job these days, so I technically didn't really need it. But yeah, I got everything reinstalled. Now I have CC. I'm getting used to it still, and I'm getting used to editing not on Premiere, but on Premiere Rush. That is what I'm doing with my coloring videos, and it's quite nice. It's much lighter of a load to load up, and it has all the functions that I need, which is very, very basic, speed up clips and then voicing over clips. I think I'm exceptionally lucky that during this quarantine I had friends who had given me things or loaned me things that I can use to keep myself entertained, including these Copic markers from Pauline. Thank you. I was gonna say I hope you're doing well in quarantine, but I know you're not, so Don't worry, I will see you in October if I'm allowed to. And I have a microphone. For the first time, I'm actually not recording this on my phone. So I don't know what the sound quality difference is gonna be. Probably huge, but I have never actually went back and looked at any of my videos because I hate my voice. And I don't like to play it back before I just export everything and then never look at it again. So, if you want to compliment me on how nice I sound, go ahead. This microphone is courtesy of Mick, the other half of our Smorgasbord podcast, which I am totally gonna plug right now. Mick and I have a podcast where we talk about food because we like eating, and like I said earlier, it's like one of my greatest hobbies is to eat. Yeah, we talk about food myths, food rituals, food whatever. You can find Smorgasbord, that is the name of our podcast, on Spotify, or just Google Geek Happy Network and you will see all of our stuff. And like a real smart person, I'll probably just link it below, because I'm starting to like lose track of space-time and like reasonable, rational thought. Yeah, it's been a minute since like normal life. So I want to know what everyone is doing with their excessive amount of time. Not that there's a lack of social media updates. I think most people are dealing with their free time by either baking or cooking. I see a lot of people that I didn't know were like into kitchen things, do a lot of kitchen things, and like their food looks good. Like they look like restaurant tier deliciousness, and it also makes me really sad that I can't just invite myself over to someone's house. I was gonna say someone's face. I'm gonna invite myself to your face. What a pickup line. Yeah, I should try that. I'm sad that I can't invite myself to someone's house and offer my services as a professional garbage disposal for them to throw food at. So yes, I actually quite enjoy seeing it, even though it's like a bittersweet thing, seeing people's food posts. And bitter because I know that I will not be doing that myself. It's been a suggestion from a lot of people. They're like, oh, if you're stuck at home, why don't you learn how to cook for once? And to that, I would like to say, go fuck yourself. In a nice way. Cooking is not for me. Like, I can do a lot of things, but cooking is not one of them. I was trying to think of things that I can do. I actually just drew a huge blank. But trust me when I say there will be no passion nor joy in me trying to create food things, because I hate making food. I would rather just eat it. Or if I don't have the option of having food presented to me, I will just not eat it. It's fine. And that is how much I hate cooking. All right, moving on now. Should probably talk a little bit about, coloring. So as you can see on the right, I pulled all the green colors that I have, and I still felt like I wasn't getting the depth that I really wanted. I think the thing with Copic is some of their colors are so similar in tone that they just kind of eat each other. They just absorb into each other. So in terms of like wanting light and dark, you really have to layer on top of layer, or use a completely different color to darken certain areas. So as you can see on the right, I have that gold bronzy looking pen, and that is the one that I think I use the most to create foreground and background differences. And you really have to go over it quite a bit. And this green that I'm using now is the most obnoxious one, so it really had to be toned down a lot because it just didn't go with the rest of it, but without it, it wasn't vibrant enough. It looked kind of dead. So it's a delicate balance. And like I've said before on other coloring videos, you just blend the fuck out of everything until it looks like a thing. Now the problem with that is things bleed, and the lines on this particular coloring book they're so thin that you have to be very, very, very careful. And I'll show you guys a close-up when I'm done, but definitely a lot of the stuff that I had to layer a lot of colors on had a lot of bleeding too. Now you can just say that's just the watercolor style I'm going with, and that's my story. Like, I would prefer that they didn't go out of bounds, but they eventually did, because there's no way to avoid it, especially having paper that thick. Yeah, I love this coloring book so much, and I think the only problem with some of these pages is I don't know how to color the background. Like on this one, there really is no background, it's just a vast space. And on their sample, they didn't color it, I don't think. So I don't know, but it annoys me when there's white space left over. It's something that I have to learn to embrace. So this first video is just me coloring leaves. I don't know if it's kind of boring, but it kind of gives you the range of like how many greens I actually have to use to make it look like there's actually not that many green variations. Yeah, so if you're using greens, I highly suggest you blend it with some kind of a bronzy, tan, sandy color. It really helps. Okay, so till next time, I guess. Peace out.